Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here. This is going to be the final game from the Wildcard tournament to take effort spot in the round of 16. This is going to be Bisu and Cal once again. This time it's going to be on Aztec, and yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Usually in final sets, neither player goes for cheese. None of them go for like these super risky builds or cheesy builds. Usually they are a little bit more on the standard side, a little bit on the safer side, and it makes for very entertaining games, I gotta say. Some very, very fun games. In the purple Protoss, starting out with a big advantage as the purple Protoss is Cal. You will remember that Bisu won against Violet when he was purple. That was just from today. That doesn't even go onto the list. The long list of purple Protoss winners. Bisu starting off at the 12 o'clock position in Teal. And you'll also remember that Violet lost as Teal. So as a superstitious person, if you believe in that sort of superstition, Cal should come away with the victory, or at least be in start out with a dramatic advantage as the purple Protoss. But yeah, that's it for superstition. This is Aztec. This should be a reverse ramp map. This is that ramp. This is that map, the one with the reverse ramps. There are so many new maps. There's new MSL maps. There's new OSL maps. The OSL maps are just crazy, by the way. If you haven't seen any of the OSL maps, go not Aztec. Pathfinder, I think, is one of them. Hitchhiker, I think, is another one of them. Or no, Gladiator is what it's called. Gladiator and Pathfinder. Those two are just weird. They look very, very interesting. They are some crazy maps. So that's it for the OSL. If you get a chance to check those out, those are some pretty cool maps. You got this at Aztec Circuit Breaker on MSL. We've got Icarus, Central Plains, Benzene. Maybe missing. I think I might be missing one more in Pro League, along with Circuit Breaker and Aztec. So there's just so many new maps around right now. Hard to sometimes get your bearings straight, even when you know start position. Sometimes it's not quite enough quite yet. Cal getting the first victory here as the purple Protoss, showing off the importance of purpliness, getting his scouting off in the correct direction right off the bat, and gonna go see Bisu's base first. And Bisu's gonna have to turn around and try and get to Cal's base, and hopefully try and beat a Zealot up there. Otherwise, he's gonna have to do that Bisu probe trick with the range of a Bisu probe and try and take down one of to try and force Cal's probe to move, which he has done before in this today. So we know he can do that if he needs to. Looks like Cal's trying to maybe just harass this probe, and also at the same time looking for a chance to put down a mana pylon or something like that, but not really gonna have too much success. And here we go. Cal is on his ramp with the Zealot. Will he be able to hold it? Going up a ramp against a Bisu probe. Will he? What he's gonna do? Come on, Bisu. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Bisu? You gonna try and work your way down? You gonna try and attack that Zealot or not? This is the question that the observers want to know the answer to. This is the question I want to know the answer to. This is a very, very important question, Senor Bisu. You need to tell us. And other than that, they've got the exact same build going down. You can see that even the Cybernetics cores have just about the exact same amount of health. So yeah, exact same thing going down here. And actually, the pylon went down a little bit earlier for Cal, so maybe he produced a, I don't know. I have no idea. No, they're about the same. Yeah. Second Zealot on the ramp, so that basically makes it impossible for Bisu to get down. Yeah, Bisu is unable to get down that ramp. Cal able to kill off that probe with his two Zealots. So he comes away with this intro scouting phase of the game. Cal is in the a advantageous position here in terms of knowledge, and he can really throw down tech right now. That's the big thing, is if you get that advantage, you can throw down tech. You can start racing to DTs or to observer to obs expand. You can really get that robo facility going earlier, and that's a big advantage of getting that early probe kill. More so than anything else in PvP is just the difficulty of killing that probe, and the advantages it brings. But it doesn't look like he was able, he felt like doing anything like that. I mean, really, he didn't throw down his tech until he left Bisu's base anyways, and both of them throwing down robotics facilities at the same time. So yeah, pretty standard play from both of them. And if we see observers, which I have an inkling that both players will open observers and play conservatively, we will be going into a pretty big, longer macro game, methinks, because the Reavers obviously, even the last game, even the Reaver for Cal actually came out much earlier than for Bisu. Actually, I don't even think Bisu ever got Reavers. So that's why that game kind of ended. Not quickly, but certainly ended in a reasonable amount of time. This time, both players are going to have Reavers. If they both go Observers, both players will have Reavers at about the same time, and it should be pretty fun. Get some micro going here. And a couple Dragoons for Bisu, and a couple Dragoons for Cal might engage here. And Bisu trying to take out this, trying to do some damage to this. These Zalas are not going to really have too much success. Knows that the Dragoons for Cal are coming back to defend them, so going to retreat. The second gateway from Cal actually was up a decent bit earlier than for Bisu, so Cal's going to have a little bit more in terms of ground forces for a little bit. There's the observatory from Bisu. Robotic support bay from Cal, so Cal is going to go aggressive. Going to get that robo bay going, going to get the Reavers on the road, and try and maybe get a little bit earlier victory. I mean, the Reavers before observatory, before obs expand does give you a pretty solid window to try and do some damage, as we've seen in the series. I mean, we've seen a few PvPs already, so yeah. And then let's see what we've got from Bisu. Already has his shuttle out, and as does Cal, waiting for that robo for that Reaver to pop, and then we'll see Cal start to push out. And Bisu, will he expand, or is he just going to do this obs into Reaver thing like he did the other game, where he didn't expand early, just used God and Obs first, and then went into Reaver, and was just a little bit more conservative. That's all that really was. I think that was the first game on Circuit Breaker where he did that. And Cal's forces being split up, which is always interesting when that happens. Sometimes I worry about Cal. Cal's pathing, I can never tell if it's like he clicks the wrong place or if it's intentional. Cal's pathing in some of these games, it's been an ongoing thing where I'm just like, are you doing it on purpose, or what's going on? But yeah, Cal is throwing up a Nexus. He does have that Reaver already out in that shuttle, but he's throwing down a Nexus behind the attack as well. Bisu looks like he isn't throwing down a Nexus quite yet, but he does have that Reaver out, so no advantage in terms of Reaver or anything like that for either player. And Cal actually with this shuttle going to go try and be aggressive with it. Got to be really careful. Needs to get out. Will that shuttle? Oh, what the shuttle does live. That was close. Shuttle had I think 2, maybe 3 Dragoon hits left. That was very, very close for Cal. Cal able to save that shuttle. That was really dangerous. But now Cal doesn't have the shuttle for this fight. But I think but he is able to get his Dragoons out, attacking his Zealots to get his Dragoons out, which obviously is a worthwhile sacrifice for those, an honorable death for those Zealots. I think one of them actually may have gotten out, maybe. But Cal's going to be a little bit more defensive here. I think his Nexus did went up a little bit earlier, not enough to really be significant, but he does have that, so he's certainly not going to fall behind too far economically or anything. I don't think Bisu came away with enough of a victory to really be decisive, because he had those so many Dragoons in his base to try and counter that Reaver, trying to go for that kill. He did not have as many Dragoons at the front, so that battle was not as lopsided as it could have been had those Dragoons for Bisu been at the front. That would have been a very, very lopsided battle. Bisu has produced his second Reaver, throwing up his third gateway, and I believe that's the third gateway for Cal as well. Cal's waiting for his second Reaver. Looks like it's a little bit later, but there it is. It has popped, and he's got 2 Reavers. Both players have 2 Reavers, and this is usually the time we'll see players either throw up a third Reaver and leave it in kind of a defensive spot. If you lose one, come back, pick it up, or really commit to Reavers, even go 2 shuttles, get 4 Reavers, something like that, which is just a lot of Reavers. Or you'll see them switch into Templar tech right now. They get the 2 Reavers, they got 1 shuttle and 2 Reavers worth of commitment to that part of the build, and then you go Templar tech next. Get your storms going. If your opponent starts getting some Zealots, you can get some big old Archons to defend and that sort of thing. So that's the stage we're at right now. We've got to wait for that next tech decision, and both players are looking to try and kill each other's observers. It's actually kind of humorous if you're watching. These observers like trying to track each other over cliffs and like, will you get into range of Dragoons? And Cal's in range and just barely survives, but will it go down to these other Dragoons? So close. He needs to move it, Yep, it's gonna live. But it's just very funny watching the observer fights that go on. Looks like Bisu has decided to push out a little bit with these 2 Reavers and his Dragoons into the middle of the map, at least. Not being all that aggressive, but at least pushing out in the middle of the map. Wants to have his presence out there. And see what's going on. Doesn't want to be caught unawares. He would rather be the aggressor than the surprise attacker than be the surprise defender, if you will. Wow, my English. Defendee. That's not even a word. That was bad. That's okay. Still waiting for that tech choice. Still waiting to see when a push comes. I mean, sometimes you'll see a tech switch into Zealots at some point, but while the Reavers are there, tech switch into Zealots probably is not very likely. And Bisu, is he going to get up this ramp? No, he's not. Okay, Bisu knew better than to try and get up that narrow ramp. That probably would not have been very successful for him. Cal going to that natural expansion, seeing that the second gas is there. That's probably about all he was searching for, is making sure that second gas was there, seeing the army composition of reinforcing units, wanted to see if there's a third Reaver, if maybe there's some Zealots there, that sort of thing. That's why it was dashing in there. And a couple of Reaver Scarabs going off for Bisu, just doing a little bit of damage here and there. Not a whole lot, nothing too significant, but just a little bit to be harassive, maybe try and get that tiny bit of an edge in a fight. Every bit counts, and especially in a mirror matchup, every little tiny thing counts. And this is a very well placed observer for Cal, seeing everything that goes on in the main. I don't think Bisu's observer has an observer in an equally advantageous position. No, he doesn't, but Cal does have a speed shuttle here, and with a couple Reavers in it, looks like he's got either three or four Reavers and 2 shuttles. So Cal has decided to go that route, has decided to go the heavy Reaver route, and Bisu, they just don't. I'm not really sure what Bisu's tech choice is. I mean, we saw the Forge, but we haven't seen a whole lot of else yet. Here comes that speed shuttle. Will he charge in yet? Zip, zip, dip, 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 dip. Nope, not yet. What's he doing? What's he doing? Cal still using that observer, getting a lot of info, and actually that Bisu observer saw both of these shuttles. Bisu saw both of those shuttles, so he should know that this is coming. And here they come. Here come all the Reavers, 3 Dragoons and a Dragoon. So this is going to be a lot of damage coming in with these Dragoons, or with these Reavers. Going to take down all of the Dragoons very, very quickly. And here comes some Reaver Scarabs. Will they get any probes? They got a couple probes, not a whole lot, but there are a lot of Reavers still in the base. And where did the second shuttle go? Did the second shuttle die? I think the second shuttle may have gotten picked off. Yeah, the second shuttle must have gotten picked off. So that's going to be that for that. He lost a, let's see, Cal lost a shuttle, a Reaver, and a Dragoon. Bisu lost 4 or 5 Dragoons and a couple of probes. So, pretty close overall. I don't think either player is really going to come away with that thinking that they had a decisive victory or anything. Pretty close overall. And, yeah, still, there's the Citadel of Aduna and the Templar Archives for Cal, as well as getting those upgrades going. Bisu, I see the Citadel. Gotta assume that there's a Templar Archive somewhere. There it is, there it is. So he's gonna get that Templar tech going, and he's got that Forge isn't spinning. I thought I saw it spinning earlier, so I think he probably has already finished +1. No, he has not. So Bisu not going for upgrades. Cal is going for the upgrades first, and both players also going for the mineral onlys. Bisu's coming up a decent bit earlier, so he's gonna get that mineral only at least operational earlier. So that gives him a little bit of an advantage. And I wonder if Cal sees the shadow that is that Dark Templar. In the beginning stages of the game, you really they pretty much always notice these the little DTs that are coming around. In the mid stages, it sometimes gets a little bit more iffy. And here comes Cal with another dash in with those shuttles and couple Reavers and 4 Zealots, and he comes in once again, loses one of the shuttles, but these Reavers can do a lot of damage, can do a ton of damage.